Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fabulous on Friday. I'm Tosca Di Matteo, founder of Tosca Coaching and Consulting. And this summer, I had changed my Feisty on Friday to Fabulous on Friday, in the spirit of helping people enter into the weekend with some pizzazz, with some self-celebration. Hey, welcome. Good to see you here. And so today was like an interesting day. I started off doing pretty well, and then it kind of got crappy, and then it kind of got better, but I'm like, you know what? I'm still doing Fabulous on Friday because there's stuff to talk about, and there's stuff to celebrate, I think that sometimes being fabulous is being able to get out of bed in the morning, sometimes that's just where we are, right? And yes, Gab, as always, girl, I will, I shall. It'll be a windy road today, I think. But yeah, I think that we just have to celebrate our fabulous and where we are. And sometimes fabulous looks like you're getting on stage, and sometimes fabulous is like you were able to cook 2 eggs for yourself in the morning, right? That's just, we have to meet ourselves where we are. I think a really big thing that I wanted to share today was this idea of fabulous is an internal job, right? And fabulous doesn't require external validation. You don't need nobody else to tell you you are fabulous in order to really believe it. And so the journey, right, is in coming to that conclusion within yourself, not easy, lifelong journey for yours truly. But yeah, it creates a life of freedom, right? When you don't have to worry about what anybody else thinks of you, because you know your truth, you know you're fabulous, and don't be afraid to say it. Don't be afraid to share it. Allison, you're freaking fabulous. You belong. You own Fabulous on Friday, right? And oh my God, so good to see you here. Allison, she owns Allison Davis. She's sales training coach and creator. Do you still have one spot available in your September platform? Because y'all gotta check her out. It's allison-davis.com. Tell me if I'm wrong. I did her program this past spring, and it was fabulous, okay? And Allison is fabulous. So anyway, if you guys are looking for some sales training support, please check her out. But yeah, I think that owning your fabulous is not just about owning all the parts of yourself that you love and that you honor. It's also owning the parts and celebrating the parts of yourself that maybe you're not so proud of, but it's part of you and it's serving you and it served you in some way. So I think part of it is owning all of your parts, and that's not an easy journey. But it's part of just celebrating all of you, not just some of the parts, but all of the parts, even the parts that you feel shame about where others have shamed you, right? It's just owning and integrating that and saying, you know what? Yep, that's part of my path. Yep, that's part of what I do. And it is what it is, and I'm a work in progress, and, I'm just going to love that part of me too. And part of it is knowing your worth. Right? Knowing your worth is owning your fabulous. Allison definitely, believes in this because she's always telling people to up your prices. You're worth more than that, But the idea is, I think, really coming to light right now with this, the Great Resignation conversations that are happening. In fact, I just had that conversation with Consciously Unbiased, hosted by Holly Corbett. It was amazing conversation. And what I love, let me tell you, I think we are in the age of owning your fabulous, because people are saying, oh, wait a minute, hold on. I'm not willing to sacrifice so much for this job, for this company, for this manager, for this boss. because like I'm fabulous and I deserve more. And I am so excited because I think that we're in this era of people taking back their power and owning their fabulous and having an abundance mindset to say, you know what? It's okay if I leave this job. I'll find something else. There will be something else out there. I'm not worried. And that is empowering and that is powerful. And I think you can do that when you can own your fabulous and your worth, and when you can also understand what your priorities are and your values and beliefs are for yourself. Then it becomes even more easy to say, hold on, wait a minute, this isn't for me or this is for me. So power to the people out there right now that are resigning from places that are not serving them. I believe, look, as a corporate whisperer, as someone who's trying to create human-centric workplaces, I believe the power is in the people's hands to say, no mas. I'm not willing to stay here anymore. And I hope that is going to force the hands of leaders finally to say, oh, wait, maybe we do have to do something different. You think? Yeah, let's do something different. Okay. And you know what? We'll see. We'll see in a few years when we see which companies survived and which didn't, and where all the talent went. So yeah, I think companies, right? I think the challenge is that they have been forgetting to celebrate the fabulous within their organization, right? They have been unwilling to allow the magic to come from their workforce, be expressed, be honored, be seen, be valued. And so people are like, F that, I'm out of here. And you know what? More power to you. By the way, tell me if this is you, if you are part of the great resignation trend right now, DM me, message me, leave a comment. I want to hear about what you're doing instead. Like, what are you choosing? Because when we say no to something, right, which I think is really hard for a lot of people, I think especially women, it's hard to say no. For a number of reasons, I won't get into that, but it's hard to say no. But we have to remember, what are we saying yes to? That's what's important. It doesn't matter if you say no, because a no is a yes to something else. So, like, when you're fabulous, you know that saying no is just as powerful as saying yes. And it doesn't mean a door is closed. It doesn't mean you missed an opportunity. It means you're so fabulous that you're going to wait for the right thing to come along, the best thing to come along that's for you, right? I think, let me tell you, years ago, how I started to like celebrate my fabulous, I started buying myself flowers. So for years, well, first of all, I didn't buy flowers, and then I wanted my boyfriend/husband to buy me flowers, and then I was like, you know what, it's okay, I don't need him to buy me flowers. I can buy flowers for myself. I can go into my pocketbook and say, you know what, I am worth getting some $15 flowers for myself, and I don't need anybody else to do it for me. Hey, Carlos, what's going on? Long time, my friends. How you doing? I'm just ranting about fabulous. What do you guys want to celebrate about your fabulous right now, today, as we go into the weekend? Please do share. You know what? Sometimes letting yourself cry it out, that's fabulous too. You know why? Because what's not fabulous is when you bottle shit up and then it comes back because you didn't address it. So being fabulous also is just letting it out sometimes. You know what? I definitely was fabulous today. Let me just put it that way. I tell you the truth, right? Life is messy, life is hard, and I take it all, and then at the end of the day, maybe I take a drink as well. Anyway, no, I'm not encouraging that. Yes, and I think part of owning your fabulous, which links to the Great Resignation, right, is speaking truth to power. When you know you're fabulous, when you know you have something to say that matters, then I think you feel more empowered to speak truth to power. And that is where we are in this like world right now, is we need everybody's courage to come to the forefront. We need your fabulous to come out and be like, no, I'm going to hold a higher standard for myself. I'm going to hold boundaries. Woo! boundaries, I know I talk about boundaries a lot. You cannot talk about boundaries enough. Okay? This is another thing I think about this great resignation. People, I think, because we are so bad at holding boundaries, we don't know how to do it, and companies definitely trample over all the boundaries, that when the boundary gets so far, people leave their job because they feel like they need a new clean slate in order to reset the boundaries, you know? And I think that that's one way, just a reset, but I also think that you can reset your boundaries with wherever you are. And that can be in any situation, whether it's with friends, whether it's with family, whether it's with your job, your coworkers, whatever. Your dog, because sometimes we gotta set boundaries with our pets too. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, you don't have to wait for the clean slate. You can just own your fabulous, own your truth, own what you need, and say, okay, yeah, things are gonna change. And you can announce it very blatantly, I'm not gonna accept this anymore, or you can just make different decisions, take different actions, and people will see. And people, you will in essence be teaching people how to treat you when you hold your boundaries. So, yeah, I'm just curious, like, what's hard for you about owning your fabulous? You know, I've been talking about this all summer. Not every Friday, but many Fridays. We've been talking about fabulousness. It's the end of like August, right? So I know like it's a period of transition for a lot of people, a time of a lot of stress for people, especially those with kids, with them going back to school and everything. And I think now, right, it's even more important to come back to our fabulous, to celebrate ourselves, right, to honor what is good, to be in gratitude for what is working, and to set intentions for what you want to bring forth into your life. And because you're fabulous, you have all the power to do that, right? So, yeah, part of how I've been working on my fabulous, if you've missed out on some of my Instagram posts, I just happen to have it right here on my desk. Owning my fabulous is getting back to play. Legos. Getting back to going downstream, meaning I am not gonna paddle my boat upstream anymore. I'm just gonna let it float down. I'm just gonna go for the ride. You know, easier said than done. That's why I bought a Lego set to remind myself. I haven't seen this Disney flick yet. Anyone with kids, like, have you seen it? This is like Raya, the Last Dragon. Like, I totally want to see it. First of all, dragons and like female protagonists, like, I'm all about it. But yeah, like, I think sometimes to remember our fabulous, we have to remember to play. We have to remember to not take life so seriously, to not be so hard on ourselves, and, you know, surround ourselves by things, people, environments that remind us of who we are, because sometimes it's easy to forget, especially when you're listening to the external, right? So as we transition, I also encourage people to shut off the external noise, okay? The social media, the voices that are not serving you in your life, you know, that are telling you what you should or shouldn't do. Like, sometimes to remember our fabulous, we need to shut out what is outside of us so that we can listen to ourselves and remember, you know? And, you know, even for me, you know, I'm trying to like have a solid meditation practice to like just come back to me and not worry about where I am and not like compare myself to where other business owners are or whatever. And, you know, especially as I have a birthday coming up, just like a heads up for you guys who want to know, my birthday is September 17th. Gifts are my love language. I'm kidding. No, but hey, if you want to mark your calendar, like I love a good email, text, whatever. But yeah, and so I think that, and, you know, my birthday is always like a time where I kind of come back and like just evaluate and just reflect and like, where am I, where I want to be. And I think like right now I'm doing a lot of work to be in my fabulous, to let go of what's not serving me, old patterns, like old thought patterns, old behaviors, you know, and trying to see it from a new perspective. This is interesting, right? Like, perspective taking. Like, I think, you know, I have a lot of like stories in my head or things that I say to myself that are not owning my fabulous, right? So I think part of what I'm trying to do is put a new narrative into my head, right? Let's just take this whole idea of like being a corporate whisperer, okay? And Allison, definitely, you know, you've been a big part of helping me to own that. But just really owning, like, okay, I am a corporate whisperer, and I'm gonna say it until like it is in every bone in my body, and I am going to remind myself why that is the case and what does that mean to me. And actually, I did a vision board around being a corporate whisperer, and I don't do vision boards all the time, like, and I haven't actually. The last time I did one was actually March of 2020. I know, very strange time to do a vision board, but hey, like, my season is my season. Anyway, right, so I'm just gonna show you, you know, again, to remind myself of my fabulous, I did this whole vision board on being a corporate whisperer. Okay, there's lots of color in there, lots of magic. There's definitely an eagle, and yeah, damn right I am. Thank you, Allison. I appreciate you. But, you know, I say this stuff to say, like, you know, it's not a magic fucking bullet, you know? You're not gonna wake up today and be like, okay, I'm gonna be fabulous because Tosca says, like, I need to really own my fabulous. No, you gotta do stuff, right? Like, to support you in embodying the way that you want to feel and embodying the way you want to think about yourself. Oh yeah, the bird. I have a couple birds on there. By the way, Allison, I thought about you. Hold on. Because I have you see the heron? The blue heron? Oh yeah, I got the heron in there. I got lots of birds. I've got like a hummingbird. Hummingbirds are about healing and joy, and then like my eagle. The eagle. Okay, you guys, if you watch some of my stuff, you know, I love birds. Like, birds are my thing. They're like my spirit guides, you know what I mean? And, you know, eagles, they fly higher than any other bird. And so they're the closest to the heavens, you know? And so part of, like, how I'm doing this work, right, is embodying that eagle point of view, that eagle perspective, the perspective from higher point of view, where when you kind of rise above the muck and the mess of the daily things and the feelings, when you rise above and look at things from a different perspective, things tend to look a lot better from the top of the mountain than they do when you're in the shit. So yeah, sorry, it fell down. So like, I'm just fixing that. And all right. So how else am I trying to own my fabulous and so see things from a different perspective to bring in new energy? I got something else to show you. Adult coloring books. It's another form of meditation for those of you who are like resistant to meditation. Like, you know, adult coloring is a great way to focus your mind on something creative and get out of your head. So this one, look at this. This is an eagle-ish thing. It's kind of like I forgot what you call them, like a hybrid, right? And this eagle is like flying over the mountains. So I was coloring this in, again, to just remind myself of like, what is the perspective that I want to have so that I can see my fabulous and see everybody else's fabulous. Because again, from the mountain, everything is freaking beautiful, right? You can't see the junk from that high up. You just see the beauty. So what if we could just live our lives seeing the beauty and being less critical of what's wrong, or less critical of what we don't have yet, or less critical of other people and where they are, less judgmental, you know what I mean? So yeah, so these, you know, this is this is kind of like the real deal fabulous on Friday, right? Like it's taking your wins when you can, and it's embracing feeling good when you are, and it's also allowing those moments where you're feeling like nothing at all fabulous. And I think those are the times where I call my friends too, you know, like I'm having a shit day. Rather than sit in the muck, sometimes what you need is you just gotta call a friend to remind you of how fabulous you are. You know what? And it's okay to call them and be like, hey, yeah, so I'm calling you because I'm feeling like crap, and can you just tell me why I'm awesome? I mean, try that. I mean, it'll make your day. It really will. So yeah, I think that's what I got for you on this Fabulous on Friday. Thanks for sticking with me, Allison. Thanks for your company. It's like I love having your vibe here, and I think you are like the epitome of like helping other people see they're fabulous. It's like one of your superpowers, and you just pick it up like so fast. You know, it's like wow, like my gosh. How beautiful is that skill, that superpower, that intuition, that knowing, and yeah, like I think we all need more Allisons in our life. So do yourself a favor, find yourself an Allison to surround yourself by, so that you can be reminded about your fabulous, even on your messy, crappy days. And yeah, again, go to the internal, because when we're reliant on the external for feeling fabulous, it's not sustainable. And sometimes, you know, I'm saying like, right, it's dual, right? Like call your friends when you need the reminder so that you can embed that in your heart. And that's icing on the cake when you're doing the work of like owning it internally that you're fabulous. Sometimes you just need a reminder, which is very different from looking for validation from bosses or looking for the accolades, looking for the likes on your Instagram, right? That's all like external stuff that can really, it's not sustainable, you know? And also if you're doing courageous work, you won't always get the external validation, right? And so if that's what you rely on, good luck, because courageous work means like you probably have a different point of view that other people aren't quite on board with yet. So don't forget that. For those of you change makers out there, because I know I got a lot of them in my tribe, you know, just remember that when you're following your truth and you're following your heart, that it doesn't matter what other people are saying, because you know that you're following the path, and that is fabulous, and that is good. So, all right, I've been rambling far too long. Love you guys. Thanks for tuning in to Fabulous on Friday. And if you want to learn more about me, you can go to CoachTosca.com. Ciao for now, and have an awesome weekend.